Hey guys, and welcome back to the Blue Podcast. We are doing, me and Henry,
yes,
our
dream team
current pre-transfer Premier League predictions. And so we'll go from the bottom, work our way up, as I always do. And
yes,
let's get things going. Hey football fans, are you ready to bend it like Roberto Carlos?
Introducing the Curl King, inspired by his legendary free kick against France in '97.
Curl King, with its revolutionary design, spins up to an incredible 600 RPM, boosting your free kicks by over 40%.
Imagine feeling the ball's rotation as your foot connects, enhancing your technique with every strike.
It's scientifically proven to improve your free kicks by just over 40%, allowing players to sense rotation of the ball as their foot meets the ball.
And guess what? You get the Curl King, one USB cable, one USB adapter connector, and one operating manual in the box with you.
Train your muscles to adjust with precision, just like the pros.
With Curl King, you'll dominate free kicks, penalties, corners, and passing plays.
And here's the kicker. It spins in both directions, perfect for all footballers of all levels and both feet.
Whether you're a seasoned striker or just starting out, Curl King is your secret weapon.
Ready to curl it like Carlos? Get your Curl King today.
Find it at the link down below.
Where you can curl it like Carlos.
Curl King, because every spin counts. Yep, exactly.
So, in last place, please, Henrietta.
So I've had this. I'm going to use the same list that I've been using so far. If you want to see how I came to these conclusions, you can check out.
You can name drop his YouTube
my
account.
So
wow.
In the feature channels bit of YouTube, or you can just search for Henry Neal. I've got my own channel. I'm tend to doing one a week, just me straight through, just talking to you for an hour. It's not cut, it's not edited.
Basically a podcast.
It's a podcast, but it's not a one where we've edited it at all. I sit down, I press record, and then I stop when I'm done. So you get my raw thoughts on specifically Manchester United, because I feel like there's a lot of Chelsea, there's a lot of other worldly issues that we talk about on here. I want a space where I can talk about Man United a bit. So if you want to check that out, you can do. And I've recently, I believe it's coming out in the next couple of days, done my Premier League predictions. So this will be pre-transfer. So we'll do one now, and then we'll do one after the transfer window to see how anything's changed.
Let's get started.
Let's actually get started. So coming up in 20th place, I've put Nottingham Forest.
I've put Ipswich.
See, this is where we're going to get some confusion. So, Nottingham Forest, I think, were the closest to going down last time.
Also, we're not going to do a joint table. We're just going to say our
pieces. We're just going to say our piece. Yeah. So, Nottingham Forest were the worst last time. They have financial issues, and they continue to have financial issues, so there could be more points deductions than last time. I don't mind Nuno, but he's not the greatest.
I think they were robbed quite a few points this season. So, they might be fine.
They might be fine. I also think that if they lose one or two of their big names, I think that squad looks incredibly weak.
I haven't got them in the bottom three, but they are.
I think the strength of the squad's coming up. I think, and the level of competency from the managers that are coming up, other than one other name, I think it's just going to be too much for them this season. And I think if somebody comes in and buys Murillo or buys Gibbs White, then I think they are screwed.
But currently, I think Ipswich.
You think Ipswich?
Yeah. You think Ipswich will go down?
I think they'll stay up, but we'll get onto that. And that comes down to Kieran McKenna, I think. But go on, this is your piece on Ipswich.
All right. Out of the three squads, I think they're the weakest.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's also the teams that come up to the Premier League for the first time in a very, very long time, and we've got Southampton and Leicester who have experience in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think they are going to struggle the most out of any Premier League side. They won't be as bad as Sheffield United, and they'll probably be a lot better actually. But I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle.
Okay. Well, we'll get on to my thoughts on Ipswich properly later. Ipswich fans, please don't come to me this time. Like I said,
you got to hate.
I got so much hate, and I didn't say that I thought. I didn't mean that they were going to go down, because I don't think they're going to go down. But I just said, if it came down to spending all your money and just staying up, or not spending any money and going down, I'd rather you reinvest the money into the club and improve the standing and reinvest into yourselves, rather than wasting money on transfers and then going down, having none of that money. The players want to leave on cheap fees, and you end up losing a bunch of money on it.
Yeah,
which is something that happens quite a lot, and Leeds did it a couple of times way back when.
Okay.
And it just seems a bit pointless. But yeah, please stop coming for me.
No, please keep going for him. All right, in 19th place, I've gone for Southampton.
I've gone for Southampton.
Nice.
There's one.
That was.
What were you going for?
I was going for a high five.
There you go.
Okay, that was embarrassing.
Yeah,
At least that wasn't caught in 4K.
Hey!
It's fine because actually we don't upload in 4K, so actually.
Nice. Yeah. So Southampton are atrocious in comparison to the rest of the teams in this league. I think there's a reason why they came so far down the table last season. I don't rate the manager that highly.
Okay.
I don't think he's good enough. Yeah, I haven't seen anything to say that he's good enough yet. He could be. He's young. He could develop, and he's got a young squad there as well. He's got Howard Bellis has already been announced as a permanent transfer, which is big for them. I just think
they'll go down
based on the competition.
Yeah,
I think they'll go down.
In 18th place, I've gone for Brentford. You got it again? Oh, we're
Brentford
good.
Brentford were weak last season,
yeah,
and that was without Tony. And now I think Tony's going to leave.
Yeah. I think Tony helped them a lot.
I think it might just be one season too many for them.
Yeah.
They would need a lot of work in the transfer windows to persuade me that they weren't going down.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Cool. In 17th place, I have gone for Nottingham Forest.
It's just a swap between Ipswich and Nottingham Forest. I think it could happen anyway with these kind of bottom four teams. And I know Ipswich are going to be under threat for the entire season as to whether or not they go down.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to Kieran McKenna, the fact that they've kept him on a 4-year deal. He makes these players better. So on paper, they are the weakest team in the league. But with his addition in terms of tactical ability, and
a bit like Ranieri at Leicester.
A bit like Ranieri at Leicester. A bit like it's not the same, but a bit like Ollie at United, where it's he made that team
fucking hot take.
He that team that he took over, he took them to second place, and they were not a second place team. He made them better.
Okay.
And that's what I think people forget. That team included Kieran McKenna. I think we were kind of putting a lot of that kind of favouritism on Ollie, and maybe it was coming from Kieran McKenna. I don't know. No one knows. But with Ipswich, we've seen that same tactic works, and it works against the bigger teams. So, because of how good he is as a manager, I think they just stay up. I rate him higher than any of the other managers in that bottom four, and I think that says something.
Fair point. I quite like the Brentford coach. Frank.
He's been linked with the United job, and I think that's unfair.
He was linked with the Chelsea job, obviously.
I don't think he's as good as people say he is.
Fair enough. All right, in 16th place, what have you gone for?
Everton.
I've gone for Wolves. I don't think they're going to get much better compared to the competition this season.
We'll come on to that later. I think Everton are going to be in the mud until they finish the stadium and get themselves out of the debt hole.
I think Everton are going to do a lot better next season.
It is. I do rate Sean Dyche, and you know I'm a Dyche boy. I love my 4-4-2.
You are English.
I am very English, despite the fact I'm almost Irish. I think there's another points deduction looming.
Really?
I think so. I think they're still in debt.
They got some of their points back.
I think they're going to keep getting deductions because they're going to keep being in debt until they finish building the stadium, and try and get some money back. I think in order to just keep themselves out of that position, they would need to sell one of their big stars, and then they would become incredibly weaker. I'm thinking Branthwaite to United.
Branthwaite, yeah.
Which I think it could hasn't happened yet. So currently, I think they're going to lose points because of the points deduction. If they sell Branthwaite, I think they're going to lose points because their defence is really weak. And the other issue is a lot of those players are old. Coleman and Young still start majority of the games, and they are in their mid-30s. And the other player is Tarkovsky, who's 31.
So they're not like they'll be able to sign anyone, really, will they? So
and they're not able to really replace them. So I think for now,
I see it. I just look at how good they were at the end of the season.
They could have been a lot higher. I think they're going to lose a big name, or they're going to get another point deduction, and that will mean that they're in the relegation.
Fair enough. Right, who you got? You went for Everton, 15th.
Yeah? Yes.
I went for Wolves.
You Wolves, yeah. Do you want to say anything else?
I just think they're not going to get much better. I think the competition above them is just better.
I rate Gary O'Neill.
Don't get me wrong, I really like Gary O'Neill.
And they've got currently
some good young
they
players.
haven't lost not João Neves. What's the guy's name?
Neto.
João Gomez
and Neto.
Neto, Cunha.
But I think they could all go. They all could,
but they haven't yet.
No, they haven't yet. But I think at least two of them will go. I think so.
I think if we come back at the end of the transfer window, we could see.
We could see a very different.
I could see Nottingham Forest going up in my predictions, and I could see Wolves going down in my predictions.
Yeah.
Depending on who gets sold and who stays.
Yep.
I rate Gary O'Neill way higher than I rate Nuno, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Gary O'Neill is an improvement.
Right, 15th, Leicester.
Bournemouth.
Okay.
I think outside of Solanke, they are a 15th place team, and I think Solanke was overperforming last season.
Unal next season, he's going to be a lot better.
I've seen some positive things from Unal
very warm.
for Getafe. Obviously, I know a little bit about Getafe.
They've signed him on a permanent now, haven't they?
Yes, that's come through. I still don't think... I think Solanke overperformed last season. I think that will drop off. Not massively, but I think it will drop off.
Okay.
Not to say he's a bad player, but I just think you run that hot. Eventually, you're not going to go better. This is the same thing I said with Harden last season. I said he was going to go down. He did, even though he still won the Golden Boot.
Okay. And you've gone...
And I think that puts him back down to 15th for me.
I think Leicester, again, one of the... what was I saying? Leicester, I think, again, it's about the competition above them. I think they'll stay up, but I can very easily see them not doing as well as people think. And I think they'll be the best out of the three that come up comfortably.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they are definitely going to be the most comfortable team.
Yeah.
And I'll get onto that a bit later.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
14th, Fulham.
Brighton. I think
Brighton are 13th for me.
Yeah, so they're going to be around here. They looked weak last season, and I don't think a lot of people picked up on that.
And they've just lost to Zerbi.
They've lost to Zerbi. I think that could be a positive in certain ways, and I know Brighton fans are not a fan of me because of this, but I think that certain players will improve because De Zerbi's gone. I think in Tariq Lamptey specifically, and he was fantastic before De Zerbi.
Yeah.
I think you're going to end up with Potter, probably. I don't see who else it could be. And he's not a bad project manager. He will build you, but I think it's going to take a season to improve the team a little bit because some of the players really dropped off last season. Outside of the likes of Gross,
Pascal Gross,
who is incredible, and a couple of other names in there, some players really dropped off massively.
Yeah.
Igor didn't work. Playing Veltman at right back didn't work. I think we're going to see Lamptey back in, Stupinian, an investment into centre half.
That's why I think that they'll do better than Fulham.
They will do better, but I think they're still going to need a year of transition. And also, they don't have a manager, and I think that says something because they are struggling to appoint someone. And
I still think they'll do better than Fulham.
They wanted McKenna, they couldn't have McKenna, so now they're a bit stuck. So I think they will end up with Potter. I think it will end up working out, but I think it will take time.
Okay.
I think it will take time.
All right. 13th, I've got Brighton.
I've got Fulham. Actually,
Okay,
I didn't realise it was a complete switch.
Yeah, it's a complete switch.
Fulham look solid under Marco Silva. They're not going to challenge. They're not going to be in a relegation battle. They're just going to be
Who's
solid.
Who's the winger?
Which one?
The attack, the one that scored like multiple games in a row. What's his name? Morello?
Reed?
Not Reed, no.
Who are you on about?
For
Fulham?
Fulham, yes.
Oh, Andres Pereira?
Maybe not Pereira. No, you're being an idiot. I'm being an idiot because I don't remember his name. But results. What's his name? Oh, Muniz.
He's a striker, mate.
He's a striker, yeah, sorry, Muniz. But he's good.
He overperformed. He did overperform. They need more goals. He didn't start scoring.
They managed to get a draw against Fulham. That is some feat. Sorry, against Palace.
Yeah, but was that Glasgow Palace or was that Hodgson Palace?
That was the last 4 games of the season.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay, it was Glasgow Palace.
Yeah.
That is quite impressive. But I just think they need...
Little spoiler ahead, I think they're going to do fantastic this season. They haven't sold any of their players yet.
Nobody's really linked. The big one was losing Tosin on a free.
Fulham. Oh, no, I was talking about Palace, but that's a spoiler for later.
Well, yeah, that's a spoiler for later. I think...
10th? Everton.
Yep, happy with that.
Gone...
I went with West Ham.
West Ham, yes.
9th.
9th. What have I gone for again? Newcastle.
I went with Palace.
Yes.
I think the top 8 are just too... You have the traditional top 6, and then you have Aston Villa and Newcastle. I think it's just going to be too tricky to break in. Those teams are too good.
I think Newcastle are going to drop off.
I think they will be this... we'll get into Newcastle in a second, but I think Palace are going to be the best of the rest. I think they're going to be a fantastic team to watch, and they're going to be an exciting team, and potentially they might do well in the Cup, I'm thinking. But...
if they can keep Eze and Elise, they'll do fantastic.
This is the thing. Currently, they have both those guys.
The striker.
Mateta,
yeah.
No one's going to go for Mateta. He's too old for a big club to go for. He could be safe with him. But I think
Elise
will probably leave, but right now he hasn't, so I'm going to keep them ninth.
Yeah.
I think if they lose Elise, then they become a little bit.
Well, I've actually put them as the best of the rest out of the top 7. That's top 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
7th, you put.
Yeah.
Okay. So
no, they're 8th.
Oh, they're 8th. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So your 8th is Palace, and my 8th is Newcastle.
Am I getting this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th is Palace. 9th is West Ham. 10th is Newcastle. 11th is Everton.
Is it? Have you missed a team?
Have I missed it? I missed Bournemouth. Must have missed Brighton. I don't know. I missed.
Can I have a look?
Yeah. I'm messing things up.
3,
It's always happening. It's all good. We have a head popping up every so often, but no one seems to have noticed yet. So
there's 20 teams there.
Yeah.
First is him, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So your 9th is West Ham.
Yeah.
Then your 8th is
Palace.
So my 8th is Newcastle. So
and your
it
9th is
Crystal Palace. So
okay.
we've just swapped.
West Ham, Newcastle, Palace are all going to be pretty.
Yeah, I think Newcastle. The tricky with Newcastle, they won't progress until they're able to spend, which they can't do because of FFP.
Yes.
Because they're not cheating.
Yes.
Like certain teams.
Yes.
Yes.
At
So
least we have people funding our clubs.
yeah, that's true. That might help. But we can make funds all of our own. But
Yeah.
I think Newcastle's good. I think they need to invest in certain areas to improve, and they can't do that until they sell someone. So unless they sell an Issac or a Bruno G, they won't be able to reinvest.
And they don't really want to sell those two
because they will make it incredibly weaker.
Yeah.
So we'll see some improvement, but I don't think we'll see them break any further higher.
No. In 7th place, I've gone to Liverpool.
Villa.
Oh, okay. Where's Liverpool for you?
We will come on to them in a minute, but
Okay.
they have dropped. I will tell you that they have
I think
dropped.
they're going to have a big drop off.
Schlott, we don't know what's going to happen with Schlott. Again, it's an unknown quantity. We've seen managers come over from the Eredivisie and just die, and we've seen them come over and do quite well. So I think we'll see.
Which one's your manager?
Whom?
What would you say your manager's done?
Okay, I think we've had one good, one bad.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the bad is not his fault, and he's handled a lot of situations very, very well. So again, I'm happy with him.
So yeah, Liverpool up in 7th. I think it's going to be a big drop.
Yeah, I think Villa playing in the Champions League is going to kill their Prem chances because it's going to eat up all their fixtures.
Yeah, they're going to struggle.
There are so many games in the Champions League this year as well. Like
we're forgetting they're about to lose their manager of how many years?
Who's that?
Klopp.
Oh, Klopp.
They've lost their manager of how many years? Like there's going to be a massive shift.
It's not as bad a team that Klopp found when he arrived.
No, but
it's still not.
It's just going to be a massive change.
Yeah, agreed.
It's like when Fergie left United. Ish.
Yeah.
Better team, I think, Liverpool than the United team.
Yeah. But the United team that he set Moyes up a little bit, which is a bit shit, but it is what it is.
He set him up for failure.
He did, and then I worry that this will be another Moyes, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't call it yet.
All right, so in 6th, I've gone Villa.
I've gone
Liverpool.
Chelsea. I've put you a little bit further down, mainly because there's.
Stay in the same spot, basically.
I don't know what you're doing. I really don't know what you're doing. I think Mascara seems like a panic appointment. I think he's probably okay.
I think there's a lot of potential there.
I would have rather seen you go back to Tuchel, if I'm honest. If you sack Poch, which I don't know if you should have done.
I think
he was starting to find something.
Done that.
Because I think he was starting to find something. This new owner doesn't know whether or not to be, what's his name, Abramovich, or whether or not to do his own thing, and he keeps making mistakes. So I don't know. I don't know what you do, really.
So yeah, I've gone Villa 6th. United, I put in 5th.
Liverpool, I've put in 5th. So you see the drop off out of Champions League football, but I think they're going to do. There's still an amazing team.
You're going to do top 4.
We'll get on to that.
No, we're talking about now. You think you're going to do top 4?
Well, who's your 4th?
Spurs.
United.
So you think Spurs are going to come top 3?
Yeah.
Jesus.
We'll get on to that. Let's focus on. Let's not rush through these last few because they are big.
I know.
I'd say that Liverpool will drop off, like I've said, and they'll drop out of the Champions League because I don't know what Slott's going to do. United, I think, will have less injuries, which is a massive thing, and will boost us up the table. I think Ten Hag will have better investment, as in the money will be spent better, and they'll be invested in the right areas. I think we'll do better deals. We'll do earlier deals. We won't panic under Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth and Jason Wilcox, who are a great little team we're building. And I think a lot of other teams are in transitional periods. Chelsea's in a transitional period. Newcastle is. Liverpool is. I think we've got an opportunity to steal into top 4, get the Champions League football back, attract more players, and then build off that. I think Ten Hag will be the one to do that as well.
Oof, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I think you. What did you put us? You put us 5th, didn't you?
I put you 5th. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do a lot better than everyone thinks.
We're only one position out of each other.
Yeah.
I think it's. We all know that we're going to do better than we did.
You're going to do better than last season, yeah.
Because last season was freak in terms of the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll see some certain players with toxic traits leave.
It's what you hope, isn't it? But they haven't left
yet.
yet.
And we're also killing 700k a week in wages by losing Casemiro and Varane.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of money to go.
It's a lot of money to go.
And as much as I wanted to keep Varane, saving the wages and paying 80k a week to Debo is going to be a lot better financially for us, and a lot more sustainable. And he's somebody who's going to want to aspire to the legends of old and actually aspire to play for Man United and actually give a shit. Not that Varane didn't, but I think certain other players in the squad don't. So I think we need to start appreciating players who have that attitude and look to recruit in that area as well.
Cool. Fair enough.
Who's your 4th again?
4th is Spurs. I think I'm just looking at I think they're going to be around the same place as they were last season. Like they had that fun period of time where they thought they were going to win the fucking league, and they were then not because they were shit.
Miss those times.
Chelsea beat them twice, so that's already 6 points lost next season that they haven't got. Spurs probably going to lose to Arsenal, so that's another 6 points lost again next season. Like they're going to be Spurs. They're going to be around 5th, 4th. You know, I don't see them breaking top 3.
Well, this is where we differ then, because my 3rd place is Tottenham, and I think we cut there because it's the top 2 are always going to be the top 2, whatever order we put them in. But the top excluding those 2 teams is Tottenham for me. I think last season they were amazing to start with until you messed up there with the injuries and suspensions and stuff. That doesn't happen twice, so that won't happen. Yep, all right, give it a rest. I think Ange seems to be good. From what I've seen, his attitude seems to be fantastic. His team building seems to be fantastic. I think we'll see them lose a lot of dead wood and reinvest that money. I think we'll see them address certain problem areas such as striker and some of the squad depth issues they've got in the defence.
Okay.
And I think they'll be able to sustain it a lot longer and therefore keep their place in the top 3 and get Champions League football back.
Cool. Fair enough. In 3rd, I've gone Chelsea. I think we're going to do better next season. As much as you know, I just look at the other teams. I think Villa are going to drop off. I think Liverpool are going to drop off. I think United will get better, which is why I put you in 5th. I think Spurs will be around that place. I think I put Spurs over you just because.
I would put Spurs over me.
Over
to
United,
be fair, I would put Spurs over me.
But then I think we have potential, considering how well we played at the end of the last season, and if Mascara can figure it out.
But I don't know how quickly he can figure it out.
And with the likes of Reece James and Nkunku, Todibo coming in, but the injuries, not Todibo, Tosin. But it's like the injuries are basically going to be like new signings. We've got Lavia coming back, and Palmer's been saying that he thinks he's going to be absolutely revolutionary for us.
We don't know
yet.
It's difficult to predict.
But we know that these players will be back fully fit next season. We know these things. We'll have Badiashile fully fit, Disasi, Colwill, Fofana.
Hopefully Fofana.
He should be back by
well, we said that last season.
No, but he got re-injured. But in theory, these players should be back, and they should be like fresh new signings.
Unless Reece James decides to get himself sent off again.
Well, he's going to miss the first 3 games of the season. But
exactly. I don't think it's too wild to predict them a top 3 finish yet. I think we need to see some consistency.
I'm just going to put balls to the wall. We'll get 3rd.
I think we'll see. I think it's a bit too much chaos right now. I think we need to see some consistency before I start.
Pre-season will be a big factor. Well, actually last season.
Friendlies.
Last season we were frigging
friendlies
phenomenal.
don't count. Friendlies count in rugby because they matter and like people care. In football, no one cares about friendly.
Top 2. Obviously, City.
Should we just say our title on the count of 3? We'll say our title winner.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Arsenal.
City. Wait, hang on. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I think it'll be Man City, but I just kind of went a bit rogue with the Arsenal one.
What, have you actually got him down as winners?
I've got Arsenal as winners.
See, I used to do that, nowadays what I do is I predict them to finish top if Pep's there. If Pep is there, I will predict them top. Hopefully this is the last time that we have to do this because he will be leaving, and then they will go back to being shit, hopefully, and then they'll get relegated and then we'll never think about them again. I can't look past them because Arsenal should have won the league the last 2 years and they didn't. They bottled it twice.
Liverpool should have done it a couple of times as well.
Yep, and they know how to win a title at the end of the season. As long as they're in it at the end of the season, they win it, and it's infuriating. But it still happens. They give themselves things. What happens every time is that they end up delaying a bunch of their fixtures.
The camera wants you getting aggressive.
Sorry.
No, same because just try and get a quote out of this. Come on.
They delay they always end up a couple of fixtures behind everybody else for some reason. I don't know how they keep doing it. So they always are third, but they win their games but they have to win their games in hand in order to go top, and then they win their games in hand. If you have a game in hand that they need to win, they win it every single time. It's consistent. It's infuriating, but it's undeniable that they will keep doing it under Pep because he knows how to just grind results like that, and it will just keep going. If you think there could be an upset, there won't be. If you think that they should hammer a team, sometimes they get beaten every now and again. But if a team you think, oh, they could do it, oh, I reckon they've got something there that could happen. No, they snuff it out so quickly, it's irritating.
And I kind of agree. So on that note, City will win the league, Ipswich will go down, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.